Herbert Horatio Kitchener, a potent symbol of the British Empire.
He was perfect to be made into an icon.
Inspiration for a generation of young men.
He was a very appealing man, was Lord Kitchener.
Yet driven by personal ambition to achieve greatness at any cost.
2,200 Dutch were killed. And that was Kitchener's responsibility.
And ruthless in his use of concentration camps.
Often you get 2 or 3 families jumbled in together. You can imagine the suffering.
Kitchener, the man behind the image. Reputations, tomorrow at 9 on BBC2.
I have for many years been introduced as the wife of the Labour leader, then the wife of the former Labour leader, then the wife of the Transport Commissioner.
Nowadays, Glenys Kinnock makes her own way as a Euro MP with a special interest in the rights of ordinary people around the world.
We can't eradicate poverty. Everyone wants the same thing.
Glenys Kinnock, in her own right, Tuesday, 9:30, BBC One Wales.
Danny Baker and Richard Wilson join the regulars for Have I Got News For You at 11 o'clock tonight. You're watching BBC2 Wales, where there's no cure for hay fever.
Welcome backstage to the Lovey's Green Room of the 11th Hay Festival, where over 200 performers, musicians and comedians have already gathered for the only major world festival to take place in a town without a train station. Over the next 90 minutes, we'll be meeting some of the movers and shakers from the world of entertainment, including some of the people behind these classic moments of TV comedy.
Hello, Gary.
Oh, Deborah, your usual? Tea, toast, spoonfuls of yoghurt dribbled between your quivering breasts. Sorry.
You haven't even started making the lentil nibbles!
Oh, yeah, look, about the lentil nibble. I know I mentioned the idea, you know, in embryo, but I could only get wooden cocktail sticks, and I don't think it's fair that all those trees should die just for our party.
Computer cast said it's worth at least 20. Yes, but they don't know it belongs to a convicted felon, do they?
There is, however, one small problem.
That everyone always gets slaughtered in the first 10 seconds.
That's right. And Field Marshal Haig is worried that this may be depressing the men attached. So, he's looking to find a way to cheer them up.
Well, his resignation and suicide would seem the obvious.
As well as backstage gossip from the Green Room, we'll be crossing over to the stage to see festival-stopping performances from Jules Holland, Dylan Moran, Cleo Lane and John Cale. And I've just been told the first guest is just arriving in style.
Trust Uri Geller to be arriving by helicopter. I'm going to be talking to Uri for the Radio Wales Now Read On programme, but my first job is to get him down, and then bring him to you, Jenny.
Nothing like making an entrance, is there? I might have to Bagsy lift home. And besides me in the Green Room, ensuring that no one slips through the net, Claire Isaac is out on the field.
Hey, and Uri Geller wasn't the only one to fly in. Apparently, John Humphreys caused a bit of a stir by landing in the wrong field, sending the cows everywhere. There you go. So I've got the programme here, and I'm trying to butt in on conversations with the likes of superstar Debbie Harry, the great Freddie Truman, and Stephen Fry if he doesn't disappear. So if you weren't one of the 40,000 so far to drop in on the party, then sit back and relax in your own armchair, because we are going to show you the best bits, and one of them is about to start right now.
So here we are backstage in the green room at Hay, and I've scored a bit of a literary coup here. I've got two first-time novelists who are both better known for us doing something else. I've got Nigel Planer here, ex-Young One, and Uri Geller, you know, psychic phenomenon, who arrived in a helicopter, which is really rather marvellous. Nigel, now, I don't want to start by being horrible and sort of casting Naomi Campbell type of aspersions, but do you not think it helps a lot getting a book published if you're already famous?
Yes, I think you're right. I think it does. Although it's my first novel, though, it's not my first book.
You've written the Nicholas Craig
and Neil's Book of the Dead, etc.
But that wasn't a proper book because it had pictures in, didn't it?
It did have pictures, some pictures.
You've grown up now.
I've grown up now. It's a proper book, only words.
Now, you've written loads of self-help books, and that's not self-help books, but books
how-to books.
Those sort of things.
Yes.
And this is your proper sort of grown-up novel as well,
Actually,
isn't it?
it's my second novel.
Oh, right, but nobody's ever heard of the other one.
Yes, because the publisher died while...
Oh, really?
exactly in the middle
Doesn't help, does it?
Doesn't help. They were distributing the books. This was in America 15 years ago. And, yeah, Ella, my second novel.
And it's called Ella. Now, this can't be that sort of self-autobiographical because it's written as a woman, as a young girl, isn't it?
True, a 14-year-old girl who discovers that she has supernatural powers, but she's abused at home and bullied in school, and I went through that too.
Yeah.
Also, when I was young and naive and gullible in the early 70s, I was obsessed with money and fame and fortune. So I actually became bulimic. But it's still...
It's funny, though, if you're talking about it being autobiographical, that you're saying Yuri's book is not autobiographical because it's about a 14-year-old girl, and yet we discover that actually there's a lot of autobiographical elements in it.
Absolutely.
And here's my book is about a man my age, and it's written, I did this, I did that, it's written, it takes place in Soho, and it's not autobiographical.
Both of you are sort of very successful, but doing, you know, you're performing and everything else and your stuff. Why did you feel the need that you had to write a book as well? I mean, sort of, couldn't you just sort of like, you know, slob out by your pool, really?
Well, I write books. I started writing books in 1972, and Ella came to my mind in Bristol, believe it or not, 2.5 years ago. I was promoting my Mind Power Kit, which I wrote for Virgin, and you shouldn't be really promoting your book now. You should do it in October.
I know.
When it's in the bookstores.
It's been delayed. It's been delayed.
I won't be here in October.
It was meant to be out in June, and they've put it back, but yes, I know
For the Christmas market, they're like that.
But I got this very unusual and strange idea on the bridge. I thought I saw this young girl running across the bridge, and I was being photographed, and I asked the photographer, what was she doing there? And he turned to me and looked around, looked at the back, and said, there's no one there. So it was something happened in my mind.
So basically this story came to your head and you had to get it out. But as a sort of comment, you sometimes feel that people perceive you as a bit of a dancing bear, a bit of a fool. And so writing a proper book, no pictures or words, sort of elevates your status a bit, like actually Nigel Planer, yeah, he can pull stupid faces and do that stuff, but actually clever bloke too.
No, I don't think so, because the book is, as I discovered today, funny. The opening words were not another novel by a TV comedian.
There has been a rash of
talking
them,
about his client who's trying to write this novel. So it's a sort of satire on basically what you're saying.
Because there's David Baddiel, Ardilo Hanlon.
Oh, there's a lot of them, isn't there?
They've begged
When
me.
are you writing one?
Well, they have. Funnily enough,
Really?
I think it's well, yes, I think it's a travesty personally, but I might have a bash. Now you're writing as well. You're a very disciplined bloke, aren't you? Do you write sort of so many hours a day, or what?
No. I combine. Believe it or not, I don't know how many authors do this around the world, but I built a table on my exercycle. And
you're mad, you.
Yes, I cycle in the morning 40 miles in my conservatory. But I got this table and I got my tape recorders and my pens and it's a fantastic way. Why should I sit, Jenny? Come on, 2 hours, wasting 2 hours.
Wasting
when
2
I can
hours
write.
writing a book. Well, there's actually
I can write while I exercise, and then when I walk with my dogs, I have a few tape recorders on me and I talk into my tape
recorders. You never
stop.
stop.
Even on the way here in the helicopter, because I'm working on 4 different books right now. So I work.
And it's making me all hot. Listen, we've got to finish. Nigel's got to get back to London to Chicago. Yeah. Yuri's already offered him the use of his private helicopter. So we're all mates. We've had a lovely time.
Thank you, Jenny.
Good luck this afternoon. Have a good show tonight. Thank you very much, Nigel Planer and Uri Geller.
Thank you.
Cheers. You're watching Hay Fever. My name's Bill Bailey. And a book that I would recommend heartily is Vineland by Thomas Pynchon.
Well, I really like
I really like, I've never, no.
It's a hilarious, surreal trip into the subculture of America in the 1960s.
It was, no, that was a film.
It accompanied me all around Colombia and stopped me going mad. So I recommend it.
Tell you what to read. Read Donald Lilo.
It was a lover and his lights were a hay and a hoe and a hay, nothing known. That all the green cornfield did pass in the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing, hey, ding, 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 sweet lovers love the spring. Beneath the acres of the rye, where the hey ho, hey nonny no, these pretty country folk would lie in the springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing, hey, ding, 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 sweet lovers love the spring. This carol may began now, the hey ho, hey nonny no, how that a life was but a flower in the springtime, the pretty ring time, when birds do sing, hey ding ding ding, sweet lovers of the spring. The only pretty ring time, when birds just sing, hey, ding, 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 sweet lovers love the spring.
Oh, am I? I don't want that. Stephen Fry, one of the best known faces at the festival this year. Writer, actor, comedian, and he's standing next to me now. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, good afternoon.
So, writer, actor, how do you see yourself?
Which hat, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I tend to feel that whichever one I'm not doing is the one I enjoy most.
Doing.
when I'm writing, I wish I were on a film set, being handed cups of coffee and being sat in a nice trailer. And when I'm standing in a cold field at 6 in the morning with a camera crew around me, fussing around, I wish I was at home just making myself a cup of coffee and a dressing gown writing. But I would hate to give up either. I don't think I could. Of course, also that queenie part of me that is a performer. Yeah. One of the frustrations of writing books is you never quite get that exact moment. You know, books go, and it's lovely when people say, oh, I read this book up a mountain, or I read this one on a beach in the Seychelles, or whatever, because you don't imagine where the books will end up when you write them. On the other hand, you do miss that absolute moment of reception that you get from a performance.
It went so well, Oscar. Even better than I... They loved it. They absolutely loved it.
And I did, boy, as I knew.
Congratulations, Oscar.
Thank you.
It's often been said that you were born to play wild. I mean, have you had a feeling all your life that it's something that you could do?
Well, once I started to age into my 30s and develop interesting new chins, and my stomach began to leak over my belt, people just pointed out that I looked like, no, he wasn't a ridiculously gross man, but he was quite well padded. And my face suddenly, when it became fleshier, I began to resemble him. And although that's not necessary and sufficient reason to play someone, he'd always been a hero of mine anyway. And once an idea gets fixed into your head that you might play someone, you know, you would get very disappointed if you heard of a film script and you weren't offered a look at it.
My own college? Well, I shall claim the privilege of a graduate and come and take tutorials with you.
And you're back on telly at the moment in The Red.
Yes, yeah.
How did it feel being back in front of the camera?
Superb cast, wonderful to work with, like Richard Griffiths and Richard Wilson, and see Rick Mail again, who I hadn't seen for some time.
How'd you get on these days?
Oh, tremendously. He's such a wonderful fellow, very forgiving nature.
Good.
And you know, so it was really good fun, and a nice little, you know, the beauty of it is the exception of Warren Clark, who sort of carries it as the main figure in it. You know, it's mostly cameo performances, which are always very enjoyable, especially after a while. It was like a sorbet after a side of beef as well. Himself says it's something else, yeah.
Final question, Stephen, I know you've got to shoot off. What other events are you doing here? I know you're doing a couple of things this weekend.
I'm getting slightly nervous and my bowels are beginning to loosen at the thought of the fact that this evening I've got to do this debate. I'm representing New Yorker magazine, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I'm as nervous as a kitten.
Good luck with that. I hope you guys will stay clean.
Thank you. I hope so too. Great pleasure talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
We'll be going back to Claire later on. OK, well, someone else who could do with supernatural powers is Hay Festival's Mrs. Fix-It, Sarah Bowie. She's responsible for ensuring all 173 events happen in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we've got 2 receptions, but they're very, very close together. So we've got the BBC reception at 5, and we've got the Sunday Times at 6:45. This is my 5th year at Hay, doing this job. Hopefully I'll get out for good behaviour soon. I started about January, but I only work part-time, and then I come full-time sort of April, May, and then most of June, really part of June. And that's, then I go back to being a shopkeeper. Before the festival, you think, God, are we going to have enough people to help? Because we know we need people to look after all the artists as they come in. And about sort of a month before the festival starts, you think, God, where are all these people going to come from? You know, we need loads of people to help out, and we need lots of people running around, and they all just appear on Friday. They all just arrive, and that's it, really. How are things going with the toilets now? And I just actually look after the site. I make sure that everything's running smoothly. If there are any problems, people come to me. If anybody needs anything, I make sure everyone gets paid. I'm generally Mrs. Fix-It. Everyone calls me Mrs. Fix-It. Gosh, I have the nicest jobs. The caravan's the backstage caravan for people like Bill Bailey and Lee Hurst and all that. Do you want to come have a look in it? It's very exciting. It's a brand new caravan. We're hugely excited. Here we are. This is our caravan. Very comfy chair. Very comfy. Very nice. Very nice toilet, but unfortunately the toilet needs emptying, which is always the bane of my life, really. And I keep trying to get one of the other guys to do it, but everyone keeps avoiding the issue, really, which is not surprising. Right, I'm just going to go into the bookshop and just see what's going on in here, as they look quite quiet. How does the good signs go? Are you all right? They've been very well, very good and very busy. Good. Dan, did you get that last message about Stephen Hawking? Have you finished the ramp going into the green room yet? Yeah. They finished, have they? Yeah. Right, Stephen Hawking's just about to arrive.
Sorry. Come on. Yeah, Stephen Hawking and books.
Is he going to sign books, are you going to say? No, he can't. He can't write.
No, but I just wonder if he goes and is he going to sort of sit while people buy them?
I don't think he can, no. I'll check with Di in the book tent, actually, but I think he's just going to come straight back here, actually. I don't think he's going to be
Yes, I mean, I know it's a silly question, but it's a sort of...
No, it's not a silly question at all. Sarah to Dan. I'm a bit worried about next year because we're contemplating possibly changing the site. We might have to go to a greenfield site because we're just getting so big now that the school can't actually accommodate us. Because it's very easy now, being on the same site for 4 years, you kind of know all the problems really. But if we have to suddenly go to a completely different site, it become a whole new set of problems. So anyway, we'll see how it goes, but let's get this one over first, I think.
So how's it been going?
It's going really well, actually. It's gone really well. I mean, everyone keeps saying, gosh, it's very fun. But I mean, there's really been nothing happening. You know, it's all gone very well. Apart from John Humphrey's helicopter landing in the wrong field.
Oh, well, he's a demanding bastard, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Lee Hurst should be arriving any moment.
Yep.
I'm just going to have a 10-minute sit down before he does, before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
It's been a very smooth day, actually. It's been really nice. I mean, lots of people, very busy. Loads of sold-out events, which are always a problem because you're never sure whether or not they're, you know, with the amount of people on the site, it's always quite difficult. But it's actually gone really well. It's gone really well. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to go. That's it. That was my break. Right. Cheers, mate. You can finish that for me.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm off to sort out Lee Hurst.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
stayed at home. Oh, what's going